This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Helping you find emotional, spiritual, and physical balance. What does your future hold? It's time to find out with Psychic Suzanna.
That's right. You're right where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Now you can find us both at psychicsusanna.com, kfab.com, where all of the shows before are listed up there. And there's some great jewels in the past that you're going to want to listen to and re-listen to, because when you re-listen, you get something new each time. This show is set up all about empowering you, helping you get ideas how to make your life a little bit better and easier. So stay tuned, stay with us, because you're going to grow with us. Before we go to our guest, I do want you to remember, if you belong to Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook, you get the email introduction of who we're going to be on before you can hear it, so you can be prepared to take notes, because this gentleman I think you're going to want to take notes from. You can join us at Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook or Susanna Stickney on Facebook. And I would like to welcome to Omaha the senior minister of the First Plymouth Congregational Church in Lincoln, Nebraska. Welcome, Jim Keck.
Hi, Susanna. Nice to be with you.
It's wonderful being with you. I must tell you how I got to know you. It started with Jim and Meg Lauerman.
Oh, yes.
They're good friends of Dave Wingert, who is our KGOR hottie. Okay. And he took me up to see your church one time.
Now, that's his official title here?
The hottie?
The hottie?
Yes.
Wow.
KGOR
Very
hottie.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, well, you know, if you've seen him, you know it. Okay? But anyway, he takes me up to see your church. And I was impressed how you talked with the individuals and not to the individuals, which is a huge difference.
Yeah, no. And by the way, Dave's a good friend, and I think he's a hottie, too. So
I know we all do. It's hard not to love Dave.
No, as you know, being a preacher, that's almost a derisive term now. Are you being preachy? Are you talking at people? But certainly at First Plymouth, we're on a journey with people. And
that journey is pretty. It's almost like you're sitting next to us. I mean, it's a very good deal. I like
glad.
And I went up to watch Dave Wingert at this 11:59 thing.
Yes.
What is that?
Really dramatic. You know, we have two very traditional worship services on Sunday morning.
Right.
And then when the second one ends, suddenly a whole crew comes into the church and massive fabrics scroll down from the ceiling and computer lighting goes up.
Wow.
And these metallic kind of urban structures come in. And we just get playful. We just show there's another way to gather at church that's now and both really upbeat but also peaceful. Just to welcome folks peaceful. To church.
And what we want to talk about is how to bring that peace into the holiday season. But before we do that, you have told me that you were a minister for 20 years. Is that correct?
Ordained 20 years ago in Newport Beach, California.
Wow, that must have been hard being down there.
It was
in
a
the
difficult
winter.
ministry.
Yeah, it must
Very
have been
difficult.
Tell me, what took you into the path of a minister?
Well, you know, I graduated from college having no idea what I was meant to be, who I was meant to be. And my parents, as a graduation gift, sent me to the island of Kauai. And there's a hike along the Nepali cliffs, and it was literally one day along this hike, in just the intense beauty of creation.
Yes.
Yeah. And there were even ancient Hawaiian temples set up along this hike along the ocean, and it just became crystal clear to me that I was about spirit and wanted to commit my life to spirit.
Marvelous. Now, in committing your life to spirit, and you talked about the gods that you were walking by, did you research that faith? What that faith was? How many faiths have you researched? And what brings you to the center of peace? Where do you find your peace?
Well, I believe first about the faiths. I believe that as a Christian, my experience of Christ is a liberation to see the light in all religions. It's not a narrowing down or a defensive setting up borders. Mm-hmm. But my faith in Christ opens me to wisdom in other traditions. And so I've worked closely with Muslim clergy and Hindu priests and Buddhist teachers and many, many rabbis. In fact, we had a rabbi in residence for an entire year at First Plymouth.
Wonderful. Well, what I thought was interesting and what I thought was good is that you use the word opening. Is that how we find peace? By opening to it? What do you think?
Yeah.
Where do you find your peace?
How do we find peace?
Yeah, where do you find your peace?
And these are such intensely anxious times. I mean, we're surrounded with the sort of media that's sharing all the dangers and risks that we face. We live in a manic, sort of frenetic world, and everything is so busy and overscheduled and intense. Where do we find peace? I have to admit, I feel inadequate at the moment because I'm feeling really stressed out.
Because you're in a different environment. You know, we're afraid of difference, aren't we?
Well, I mean, my week has been stressful. I mean, to talk about peace right now might be helpful for myself.
Okay, let's go for it.
Let's go for it.
But isn't change anything that we don't know? Doesn't that just bring that fear out of us?
It's nervous-making. It's anxiety-producing to face change. One person said experiencing change is like being Linus when your blanket's in the dryer.
Oh,
I mean, you just
what
don't
a visualization.
You don't have or being like a trapeze artist that's left the one bar who's flying through the air and hasn't grabbed on yet to the next thing. I mean, change is nervous-making. But I tell you, where we can find peace, we imagine that peace, like happiness, will come from something outside ourselves.
It doesn't?
It doesn't. And that's an illusion in our culture. We think that if we had the right things or we had the right relationships or we achieved the right things, we would finally be peaceful and happy.
Are you sure that's not the right way?
It's an illusion. And I can tell by the way you're asking, you know that. Peace or happiness will never come from something outside ourselves. It's something we have to find and claim and own within ourselves.
Can you claim and own it within ourselves if people like family, like holidays, we're going over there. Who's going to do the kitchen? Who's going to clean up? Who's serving? Why aren't we helping? Can you find peace in the middle of all of this gregarious drama that happens that we call the holidays?
Not in my family.
Yeah. Well,
Family's family.
Yeah.
But truly, I think we each have to almost try to pre-live the moment. If you're going to go be with family, first to accept it's not going to be perfect. There is no time spent with family that is all light and bright and harmonious. So to first kind of pre-think and pre-live through the moment and say, if it's not going perfectly, I won't stress out. I'll look for the good kind of encounters I can have with even my crazy aunt.
You had a crazy aunt also.
No, of course not.
I didn't think so. So in the middle of the drama, what if there's someone there who, my God, 14 years ago, a week from Sunday, said something to me that is just so wrong. She said something so wrong. 14 years ago, a week from Sunday, she said that. Yeah. How do I get over it now? How do I live in the present?
Well, listen to me. I'm about to say you just have to let it go, but obviously I struggle with carrying these regrets or these anger against others. The previous pastor of my church used to say, he used to end virtually every sermon by saying, let it go and be happy now. You have to let it go.
But she said something horrible.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right, fine. But all right, now wait a minute. I have a family member that doesn't like me. And Jim, I'm sweet. I'm lovable. But I'm sweet.
Obviously so. How can anyone not?
I know. Well, and there are people who don't like me. What's up with that?
I don't know what's up with that.
What do we do when we go to a family event and we're concerned that cousin Lydia is going to be there. She doesn't like me.
Yeah.
She's probably going to say something to hurt me. How do I prepare myself so I don't get crushed by cousin Lydia?
Well, golly, I mean, and I'm not a psychologist,
I know.
as a minister, but I do know we get caught in
You're
always.
a family guy.
Yes.
You're a man who understands this. And by the way, I wish people could be in the studio, see how you raise your eyebrows and move your hands. Very expressive. I love this. This is why you should be a minister. But go ahead.
Well,
Help
we
me
get
with
caught
this.
up in always thinking we can change other people, of course. And so you imagine if you're about to have a bad encounter with someone that somehow you could change their perspective or make them shift in some way that will make you happier. Again, we can't. We're not responsible for all the folks around us, but we are responsible with what type of energy are we going to bring into a room. I mean, I think, again, all of us, when we know we're about to enter a difficult family, the lion's den, that we need to think for a moment, how would it be to be a non-anxious presence there and to help spread the light? And Suzanna, I really appreciate your show in the way that it spreads light and love. And you have that choice in every encounter. Are you going to add light and love to this, or are you going to bring it down a little bit?
Am I going to add light and love to this? A lot of times when clients come to me, the first thing I tell them to do is take their breath, feel the energy of the God within,
absolutely,
and then realize that nobody 6 feet under wouldn't want to be where they are, even with cousin Lydia. We're taking a break. We're going to come back, and I'm going to ask you some other questions that are going to keep you on your toes.
Oh, I'm getting anxious.
I love that. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Stay tuned. This is where you grow. This is how you get empowered. We're going to be taking your calls later. I've got a little surprise coming up at the 8 o'clock hour. This is the show you want to listen to every week. Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
Yes, you're right where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Please note you can get one free question at psychicsusanna.com. You can go to 1110 KFAB. You can re-listen to this show and maybe help you to understand how to handle cousin Lydia. We are the 50,000-watt cultural revolution right here that is going to empower you to handle every situation in your life that you could ask for and more. If you ever have a question or if you ever want something covered, please join us at Life with Psychic Suzanna. We love your suggestions. You'll also get a pre-note of what's coming up. Also, please join Susanna Stickney on Facebook. Both of those places keep you in the know. Now, I'm going to go back to our Jim Keck. Thank you for driving down from Lincoln to being with us. Jim is the senior minister of the First Plymouth Congregational Church in Lincoln, Nebraska. And he has a real cute worship at 1159 at, what is that called?
It's called 1159 at First Plymouth.
Okay. 1159 at First Plymouth. I went and saw Dave there, Dave Wingert, our guy, and Jim do a little shtick, and it was really empowering.
Well, we
really
call it
empowering.
1159 because it's your last chance for a Sunday morning service.
I love that. I love that. It was interesting, by the way, at that 11:59. It was Dave and you were talking about the Spirit of God within us and to love and approach ourselves as we should. But interesting, in a conversation with one of your congregation, not mine, okay, said to me, well, if we start believing that God is within us and that we're supposed to be honored, we'll become egomaniac. That's just wrong.
Oh, yeah. No.
How do you answer that?
Well, no, all the great wisdom teachings talk about the divine within. That doesn't mean some radical inflation of the ego. It's just recognizing that deep connection with all living things and with God.
So the divine is within.
Oh, absolutely. Christ speaks of that. Again, all the great traditions speak of that, and all the mystics in each traditions acknowledge that. And so the tricky thing is, in a Christian church, we exalt Jesus as somehow especially divine, but But if you hear that poetry right, if you hear the spiritual intent, we're trying to see the divine in him so we can finally claim the divine within each one of ourselves.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. So, does Cousin Lydia have the divine?
Absolutely.
So she's in the other side of the room in the kitchen complaining. How do I
She
deal
can be
with
a
this?
pain in the butt and yet
And
have
she's
the
complaining. What am I doing this? I'm the divine. I'm part of God.
Yeah.
I'm embracing my goodness. My cousin's in the kitchen,
I know.
ticking me off. What do I do? Help me.
I heard a farmer today talking about how much he appreciates hanging out with cows because they're just not so complex, like people are. Well, again, we're talking about having a sense of peacefulness or calm,
Right.
and obviously there's going to be many interactions during the day, not just at a family gathering, that will, test out your sense of calm. One thing I wanted to mention, though, in our day as we surf through a busy day and encounter all these folks, one of the most important aspects of bringing peace and spiritual calm into your life is a connection with nature. And so to ask yourself, when was the last time you were in a walk in the woods or sitting by a lake or simply sitting under a tree, hearing the leaves rustle, a connection. Can I share you? Go
We're sort of like in a cement world.
We're absolutely
Cement world.
and that
patches of grass.
and that increases our stress each and every day. When I was a graduate student in Berkeley,
Yeah.
To decompress, I'd drive across the
You
bay.
were in Berkeley. What could be pressing you, sweetheart? You're in Berkeley.
I
They
know,
have
I
no
know.
clue down there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would drive and I'd head into the city. Then I'd head across the Golden Gate Bridge into Marin County, and there's a place, and it's magical. It's called Muir Woods. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's a redwood forest, and I would take a hike in this forest, and I could just feel a sense of peace overcome me. And these redwood trees are so massive, and they soar impossibly high to the sky. And then one day, as I was on a walk, I noticed a little sign at the base of one of these mammoth trees. And this little sign explained how it is a redwood tree grows so tall and stately. It said that, in fact, all the trees of that forest, their roots are entwined. And in essence, those trees are leaning on each other.
Wow.
Well, same for us. We need to be rooted in the earth, and we need to know there'll be ways we have to lean on others, and they have to lean on us. Every time I went into that forest, I found it deeply restorative.
Wow. Does that mean I have to go in the kitchen with Cousin Lydia?
You got to take her on a hike in the redwood trees.
Well,
That's my
what
tip.
What do you do in Lincoln? What do you do in Lincoln? Do you go on a hike? Because your church is massive, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so do you go on walks daily?
Absolutely. In fact, though, at our church, we have that large courtyard, and it's a Romanesque arcade. Did you see that? The arches around the courtyard.
Right.
And there's a spiritual technology to those Roman arcades. I take little meditation walks around my courtyard because if you just walk in those arches outside, it is just profoundly centering.
Marvelous.
Come by and take a walk.
So I'm going to come by and take a walk. So you're saying that we need to connect to each other, connect to the earth, connect to things. Makes sense to me. How about the essence of where do you get your peace? Where do you find your peaceful moments in life?
Well, and again, because...
okay, say we're in the office. We can't go for a walk. I need peace right here and now because Lydia's coming out of the kitchen.
Well, you already gave the number one tip. You have to go to your breath.
Okay.
And again, that's in all traditions. The word to breathe in is inspiration. That's what the word means versus expiration, to breathe out ultimately.
Really?
And to breathe the divine in is enthused, to be enthused, enthusiasm. When you take a deep centering breath, you'll immediately feel both the calming effects of that, but also the spiritual light of that, the enthusiasm of breathing in the divine.
Wow. So I can, if I can't get out to the neighbor outdoors,
Deep
and
breath.
Cousin Lydia's coming from the kitchen, I just go to the breath.
And it's more specific than that. A deep breath through the nose.
Through the nose.
Through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. and a deep. We take these short, when we get anxious, we're breathing up in the upper part of our chest. And we take these short little breaths, and those, in fact, make us even more hyper. And so if you take a deep breath, a deep belly breath, all the great meditation techniques, first you go to your breath.
What I'm, I always find people who put themselves down. I always say, God created you in His image. Your breath is the breath of God, and so when you put yourself down, you're putting down God. And then I slap him. I'm very abusive on that.
Well, and
golly, you should see me with Lydia when she starts going with that negative thing. She doesn't understand. She's changing the environment for all of us. She's got to stop that.
Got to stop it.
Yes.
And she's got to take a breath.
Yeah, that's a parent.
But this notion of a deep breath is even in the tradition itself. The Christians talk of the Holy Spirit. Spirit, spiritus, comes from the Greek pneuma, which means air or wind or breath, from the Hebrew ruach.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm afraid our time is gone. I'm going to have to ask you back on another day so we could go into this. You've been inspiring, as you always are. I want to thank Dave Wingert for leading me to you through Meg and Lauerman and Jim Lauerman.
He's a good friend.
Okay, so now tell us one thing. How do we get a hold of you? Where do we find you?
I tell you what, just check out www.firstplymouth.org, and you can learn all about the church and my ministry.
Okay. Again, thank you, Jim Keck. You have been a divine guest. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
God bless. Well, this is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. I must tell you, we have Thor in the studio, Jim. And
that is good.
Thor does our Sunday morning show, is that correct?
That is right. Compute this.
And he went to the our computer in the room, and he's looking at his desktop. Is this not exciting? He's going to tell us how to find the great ads for Black Friday. He's going to let us know what he's going to be doing. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna. If you're interested in saving, stay tuned, and then we'll take your calls. Bye-bye. Yes, you are back with Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Yes, this is the show that is going to give you information to make your life a little bit better. We're going a little bit off the mark. We're going to talk about money-saving things this time because you talked about the weather on Thursday for Thanksgiving.
Susanna.
But the really important thing, Jim, is Black Friday.
Is it? It's remarkable, huh?
It is. The real important thing is Black Friday.
I heard my first Christmas song today.
Wow.
Yeah, Brenda Lee rocking around that Christmas tree.
Well, and that's what we need to do. Now, I have a real good tech guy here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, tell me about this tech guy. You've heard his show, haven't you?
I have. It was
Tell
excellent.
me about the show.
It was just excellent radio. I heard it going to Hastings here probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. I was in a ball tournament.
Right.
And I go, wow, that's captivating. Good radio, good computer radio. I mean, talking about things that were just
not computer
right on to
radio.
Me. Well,
not computer radio.
You tell. Let him say it in his own words. I'm flubbing it up.
It's
shut my mic off.
Information. I mean, I can listen to Thor. On his, what time is your Sunday morning show?
7 a.m. You're working me 7 a to 7 p today. I'm dying here, lady.
You're doing wonderful. You look very clean. Apparently you showered. Anyway, we have Thor on, and what is the name of the program?
It's called Compute This. It's on every Sunday morning from 7 to 8, and it's put on by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Now, they can download it any time if we're not up at 7 on Sunday, correct?
That's right. Actually, we've got it on our website at SchrockInnovations.com, and it's also available via iTunes podcast. So you can actually subscribe to the podcast and just have it drop into your computer whenever it's ready.
Wow.
Like fresh bread.
Oh, my gosh. But the thing about this is the really, really, really interesting and the knowledge, and you make it so I can understand it. You know, I'm not the hippest woman on, and we're trying to, and I just found out I spent money on something I didn't have to spend money on to the tune of $40, $50. So, you know, where were you, Thor, when I was looking at this? You know, the computers are amazing.
Yeah, there's so much to know, and everyone asks, well, how do you keep all this stuff in your head? And, well, the truth answer is I don't. I Google just as much as the next person does to find information and to learn. Let's just face it, not everybody's job is to stay up on all the tech stuff. That happens to be my job. And so one of the things we try to do with Compute This is we've been compared a lot to Kim Commando's show, for example. She has a nationally syndicated show. Her show is more of a show for techies. It's a show for people who want to talk about the megapixels and the gigabytes and all the tech details. Our show is more for the everyday user. They're not too concerned about why their Skype program isn't working. They just want it to work. And when they tell me, well, Thor, I went out and bought Skype for $40, and I said, well, there's why it's not working, because Skype's a free program. You didn't need to buy it. Did you buy minutes for your Skype? Because that's different.
No.
But no, if you just buy the program, it's free. And so you probably bought some Skype imposter program, and that's why it's not working so hot.
Oh, great, because my husband's on the phone trying to figure it out. So here's the thing. When you come to computers, I've heard you say a couple times, computers are only meant to last 2 years? My laptop, is that it?
What we see typically when people are looking at their computers, they get about 18 to 24 months out of each computer before they either replace them or upgrade them. And that's why you'll hear a lot of people today say, well, this computer, I'm not going to put that money into it. It's disposable. I'll just buy another one. Well, that's fine if you can afford to do it. But the challenge is a lot of people say it's the manufacturers who are putting the screws to people and trying to get them into this upgrade cycle when, in fact, people do it to themselves.
How?
Well, when you go to the store to shop for a computer, when you bought your HP, what were you concerned with when you bought your computer? What were your top two concerns?
How it looked.
How it looked, and number two, how much it cost.
Okay,
price?
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right.
So people come
Really,
in.
it's the looks, honey. It's a silver. It looks good. It looks like it was on Star Wars. I'm sorry. I'm not a deep woman, Thor. I'm sorry.
Hey, and here I am sitting, breathing through my nose and out my mouth and sitting up straight.
Wasn't he wonderful?
First time I met you, you gave me heck about my breath and everything else, and I thought she meant I needed some gum. And I'm like, I have gum. And she's like, no, honey, it's your breath. You breathe.
Your energy looks so much better than the first time I saw you.
Well, I'm about 30 pounds lighter than the first time you saw me.
Marvelous.
So,
all right, let's get back to the computer.
All right.
All right, I'm in the store. I want to buy a good computer. We have sales on computers, by the way,
Yes.
for Black Friday. What do we have there?
Okay, well, what happens when people buy computers, the number one motivation starts with price typically, and then drops down into features. And that's where people try to educate themselves and buy the best thing they can, or they try to estimate their needs and buy a computer that fits their need. And so what ends up happening is people buy computers figuring that their needs are static, that their needs are not going to change over the next 2 years. If you think, just go 5 years ago, the stuff we were doing with our computers 5 years ago, Skype was just a fantasy, really. YouTube was not even owned by Google and wasn't available in HD. Netflix, they were still sending movies through the mail. I mean, there was no, Blockbuster. You still went to the Blockbuster store to get your videos.
Right.
I mean, the internet has changed everything, and the things we do with our computers. Now, the University of Arizona has this holographic teleconferencing technology they're developing that literally you put a projector and a scanner in a room, and it scans the people in the room and projects them in another room across the country. So you can have a conference. I mean, this is where we're going with our technology. Imagine if on these Black Friday sales, if you were able to look at the device you wanted to buy in your home rather than look in the ad. You could actually see a physical representation of how big it would be on your desk. You can manipulate it and turn it with your hands. That's where we're going to be in 10 years. And so people, when they're looking at their computers right now, they're buying computers to do internet, email, send letters to the grandkids, letters to grandma, word processing, homework. They're not thinking out any further than 2 or 3 years. So, of course, what happens is you throw it away. So now here we walk into Black Friday. Now, I mentioned the number one motivator is always price. And isn't that what Black Friday is all about? Getting the best deal you can.
I'm out there at 4 a.m, Thor.
Shoving grandmas, just trampling over people. That's what it's a sport.
The
right?
crazies. I love the crazies. And I cannot believe Jim has never experienced the crazies.
No, I haven't. I work on Black Friday.
Yeah,
I avoid Black Friday.
4 or 5 in the morning, we were once at the parking lot of the Best Buy in Houston, Texas.
Well, you have to get there days before now. Do you see somebody's already a family is taking turns camping in front of a Best Buy somewhere. They started 3 days ago. So they could be the first people in line.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
How much is your
Nutsoid.
How much is your time worth? I'm
All
serious.
right, all right, fine. Tell us what
Okay.
great specials we're going to find on.
All right,
Black-
let's break it
But,
down.
By the way, it's going to be on your web.
Well, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the big box stores and tell you what you can get there. Then I'm
Okay.
going to roll back into what we're doing at Schrock, some really cool stuff. We have a little bit of different philosophy on Black Friday stuff.
Okay.
All right, so the 3 stores that you want to put on your list, if you're going to prioritize, then this is for technology stuff. You want to look either at Best Buy, Target, or Walmart, one of those 3.
Okay.
Everybody else's stuff is pretty much either junk or it's more expensive than you could buy it on the internet. And with
Okay.
Cyber Monday, you get free shipping usually, the Monday after the weekend.
Okay.
So
Right.
Best Buy, for example, you can get an eMachine desktop, not the best quality, but it's $220. Whenever you can buy a desktop computer for $220, if you get a year, that's a disposable computer right there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
A compact netbook for $150, that's pretty much half off. A Sony Vaio. Now, Sonys are very expensive laptops. So when you look at a Sony Vaio laptop, you're going to drop $800 easy.
Right.
Best Buy is going to have them starting at $400 for a 15-inch. And then there's a 2 terabyte external hard drive for about $89, which is roughly the cost that a 1 terabyte sells for usually. So great deals there. Target, this is something you're going to see a lot of. A lot of the manufacturers like Apple are really controlling the price points on their products. They're not allowing their distributors to cut the prices for Black Friday. So when you go out looking for an iPod Nano or an iPod Touch or an iPhone on Black Friday, you're going to get frustrated that they're the exact same price on Black Friday than they are on the Apple Store any day you want to buy it. So this is what the box stores are getting smart. They're pairing gift cards along with the technology. So, for example, Target is doing an 8 gig iPod Nano for $145. It's like $149 on the Apple Store. But they're going to give you a $15 gift card along with it. So you can spend that on anything you want. And it's good in the new year, of course.
Right.
You can't use it that day. Walmart is going to have a 15-inch e-machine for $198. It's a laptop for $200. And
Wow.
once again, when you're talking about a laptop, for $200, give it to your 6-year-old.
Right.
Because let them use the computer. Because that's really, it's not going to do stuff for a 10-year-old. It's not powerful enough. But for $200, if you're going to buy a laptop, that's the way to go. So, if you're going to get out in the cold and freeze your buns off Friday morning or Thursday night, whatever the case may be, those are the 3 stores you're going to want to freeze your buns off in front of. Everything else will leave you disappointed. If you're a video game lover this year, it's dry pickings. A lot of the older titles, like if you want the original Call of Duty game that's 3 years old, you can get that for, $20.
Okay.
Any of the new titles are all full price. The big thing in gaming this year is going to be the Xbox Kinect. It allows you to stand in front of your video game and jump and move your hands and block balls and play dodgeball and everything. No one's got it on sale anywhere except Dell online will have it on sale in limited quantities.
Wow.
So you got to look at the websites too, because the deals are different on the websites a lot of times. Now, Schrock Innovations, I own Schrock Innovations.
Yeah.
I have a problem looking out the front window of my store at my customers, the poor, huddled, shivering masses
Don't go
standing
there.
outside in the cold.
This is a sales pitch. I can get it.
I'm
Go
just
for it.
saying, what kind of a sadistic freak puts his customers out in sub-zero temperatures and looks at them through the window as they peek in like they're looking at the Christmas
And they
goodies?
will not open the door 4 minutes early.
No.
5 minutes early.
Not even the exterior windbreak door? They
Not
won't
even that. I was in front of Kohl's on crutches last year.
Well, you were pulling out all the
I
stops.
could not even get in the door 10 minutes early.
Yeah, you just can't. And so
Crutches!
So that gag didn't work? The crutch gag?
Oh,
my God.
you got to try the body cast next year.
I'm thinking about it.
So here's what
Okay.
we're going to do at Schrock. We're going to do things different. We're not going to compete with the box stores because we don't ever compete with them on price anyway. We compete with them on service. So what we're going to do is we are going to open our doors at normal business hours. Friday, we're open at 10. They give you plenty of time to go out, get your early shopping done,
Okay.
go to Starbucks, get warmed up, and then come over to Schrock Innovations. Not only that, but we said we're not even going to make you come out Friday. You can come out Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Any of the 3 days.
Okay.
So you can come out any of the 3 days. We're going to have some deals. Now, we've talked about a couple hundred here, 300 there, 400 there.
Right.
We're going to have compact notebooks that are actually decent notebooks for $399.
Okay.
We're going to have what we call this is probably going to be the most popular thing, the Ultimate Upgrade System. What the Ultimate Upgrade is it's a desktop tower. It's a tower only. And you trade in any old hunk of computer you've got laying around. If it works, if it doesn't work, if it's got rust on the bottom from being out in the barn, it doesn't matter. You trade it in, and we're going to give you the rough equivalent to our $700 tower for $399. As long as you trade in something that we can recycle. That's it. So that's going to probably be the most popular one. If you're looking for the power stuff, though, The Black Friday stuff is great for low price things. It's great for low power things. If you're a power computer user, the 2010 holiday special is what you're looking for at Schrock, and we're going to have a $100 instant rebate on that going through Sunday. And what that is, and you can take a look at it over at SchrockInnovations.com. It's an amazing computer. Your computer, Susanna, has about 2 brains in it. It's got, I think, 4 gigs of RAM, something around that neighborhood.
I have no clue.
Yeah. So it's got 2 brains, it's got 4 arms, and it's got a whole lot of storage space. Well, the 2010 holiday special has 6 brains. It has 12 arms. It's like a Buddha. It's got 12 arms.
Yeah. Buddha only had 2. Don't go.
Oh, wait. Who am I thinking then?
You're thinking of...
They had Obama on the Newsweek cover looking like...
I don't want to know.
Anyway.
Don't go there with me. You got 2 minutes. Give it to me all.
Nah, so basically what it amounts to is we're going to have this amazing holiday special computer. It starts normally at $14.99.
Yeah.
It's $100 off, so you save $100 on Black Friday weekend. Anytime you want to come in, it comes with a 23-inch high-definition monitor for that price.
Wow.
It comes with, like I said, 6 brains. It's got 12 gigs of RAM in it. It's got the solid-state hard drive.
Yeah.
That's a hard drive that has no moving parts.
Wow.
So it is incredibly fast. If you used it for 6 hours a day, it would last you 685 years.
Wow.
Before it failed.
Wow.
That's the expected lifespan.
Wow.
So yeah, it's even with good breath, it's going to outlive you.
Wow.
So that's what we talk about. And the nice thing is it's modular. What that means is you can upgrade
I like your thing, and I'm impressed with you, is because you don't just sell the item, you service it.
Absolutely.
And having service. When I had a big little woof on my computer, I called you. You came. You rescued. You helped. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it was awesome. I loved meeting you too that day. It was kind of cool. The little local celebrity action there.
Yeah.
But the big thing about it is, like, for example, with our warranties. We will sell extended warranties on any computer that we sell, but we do things a little bit differently. I mentioned we don't compete with these box stores on price. Yeah. We compete with them on service. So let's say you come into the shop and you buy a computer from us, and you get a 1-year warranty comes with it. And we say, we can sell you the extended warranty. It's $99 a year. But if you don't use it, let's say you extend it all the way out to 4 years. If you don't use the warranty in 4 years, you come back. No, you don't have to come back. We will call you and refund your money.
Wow.
Because we want you to use the warranty. That's why you're buying it. So when and if something goes wrong, you have no excuse to go anywhere else. You can bring it into us. There's no pain. You've got the warranty. That's what it's for. And if you never use it, there's no risk. You get your money back, because we're not here to take your money from you and say, yeah, how many warranties can we not service this month? We're here to give the service, because that's what keeps people recommending us to their friends, keeps them coming back.
Okay. So the thing about Black Friday, we can go to your website on tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow we're going to be on the Morning Blend, actually, on KETV. It's Channel 3 here in Omaha, with our Black Friday popular items. We'll have the Ultimate Upgrade. We'll have the Holiday Special. We'll have that $400 notebook. And these aren't doorbuster things. We've got quantities of these available. So if you come in Friday, you'll get one. Chances are if you come in Saturday, you'll get one too. So it's a good deal. Check it out, SchrockInnovations.com.
Thank you for stopping by and giving us the lowdown on saving money over the holidays.
I am always here for you, and I will help you fight to get that $40 back.
All right. It's worth the fight. All right. Thank you for coming back. We had Thor from Schrock Innovations. He's got a Sunday morning show you want to listen to. And this is Life with Psychic Suzanna. We'll be right back with your calls. Please give us a call at 1-800-543-1110 or 558-1110.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. She knew I was going to say that.
Yes, you're right here where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can find us at psychicsusanna.com or kfab.com. You have all the info on all the shows there. We have some great authors on. If there's anybody that you would like to have interviewed, a book that really inspired you, please go to my Facebook, Life with Psychic Suzanna. Register. Become part of our family. You should hear what we're going to do in January. No, It's a secret. It's a secret. But something exciting if you're a member of Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook. Also, please join Suzanna Stickney on Facebook. That's my real name, and that's my cute little husband. And right now, it's time to take your calls. Please give us a call at 1-800-543-1110 or 558-1110. Jim.
Yes, Susanna.
Who should we go to? Should we hit Carolyn? I like Carolyn.
No, you asked me who we should go to.
All
I'd
right,
say
fine.
Brian. Brian
All right,
has been very patient.
But I want Carolyn
Oh,
next.
we'll get her. But let's get Brian first.
All right, fine.
Can we?
All right,
okay,
let's
shall
do
we go for
Brian.
Brian? Brian?
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Susanna.
Well, you do know you're Jim's pick.
Oh, well, I'm very grateful for
He
that.
was holding on like a good guy, called in early, like people that really want to get on
You know
do.
what
So he did everything right.
Okay.
I have tried for over a month to get on, and I
See?
wait patiently, and then I don't get...
So we're starting with you right now, Brian. Brian, honey, are you aware that you expect to suffer, though, honey?
I expect to suffer.
Yeah. Do you suffer a lot, Brian?
Well,
Are you sad a lot, Brian?
you wouldn't know it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You've been on air with me less than 30 seconds. Let me tell you that your thought processes hang around your body, and people can sense that. Do you feel alone a lot, Brian?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know why? You've sent out a signal that people aren't going to like you. Now, Brian, I like you. You're a good guy. You're a good, sensitive, loving guy who will be there for others. But, Brian, you're not there for yourself. That's not healthy. And you don't communicate hardly at all. And I need you to start working on that. I got to tell you, the next 30 years are going to be better than the first 50 years. But you need you to step out. I need you to get physically active. I need you to work on your breathing. I need you to start reaching out to other people who need to know Brian because you're a good guy. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, financially, there is going to be improvement about 4 months down the road.
Really?
But you got to take some action, Brian. You think too much, you don't act. I need you to get out there, get moving, get engaged in life. Brian, you think about life. You're not engaged with it. I want you to engage with it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm kind of busy taking care of a doggie that doesn't feel very well.
Well, I understand that. But there are two-legged people who need your attention. And I need you to reach out to the two-legged too. The dog feels your love. The dog feels your support, and the dog is blessed by you. But bless the two-legged ones too, okay? Much better you're coming up as you reach out, making new people. There seems to be some form of structured spiritual classes that you're going to get involved in within 5 months where you're going to make someone new, and it's going to be dynamite. Plan on that, okay?
Well, thank you very much.
God bless, Brian. You're a good man. Reach out. Bye-bye. We're taking a break. Do we need to go right to the news?
We better take our break, Susanna.
We're going to take a break at the news. You know, if you don't reach out to other people, there are people who need to know us. And if you're not reaching out, you're not doing your work on earth. You're not here to be by yourself. You're here to reach out, talk to people, pass a smile. We're coming right back on 1110 KFAB. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna. Stay tuned. We're here for you.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
I hope you know where you are because you're right where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Now, you can always find us at psychicsusanna.com where you get a free question, or you can go to kfab.com when all of the shows with all of our fantastic authors are on. You can listen, you can re-listen, you can, every time you see something new, hear something new. So be alert, re-listen to them 100 times if you want, if he supports you. We are going to go to our phones. We want to know what's on your mind. The numbers are 1-800-543-1110 or 558-1110. Listen and learn with us as we grow. And we're going to go to Carolyn now. Carolyn. Hello?
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 Hi, Anna. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm totally blessed. Carolyn, have I ever seen you any time?
No, you have not.
Okay, where are you from, Carolyn?
I am from Bellevue.
Okay. Carolyn, first of all, are you pregnant?
No, I am not. Not that I'm aware of.
Are you wanting to be?
I am. Yes, I am.
Well, any second. Not while you're
Really?
on the phone with us. We're not in ratings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, but there is going to be a healthy pregnancy this coming year.
Wonderful.
Now, here's the problem, Carolyn.
Okay.
Are you supportive to your body?
Yes and no. I smoke, so.
Okay. What baby wants to come into a smoke-filled room?
I'm sorry, what?
What child wants to come into a smoke-filled room?
Exactly.
Do you want to be pregnant?
Yes, I do.
What's more important, the cigarette or the baby?
The baby.
All right, you know what you need to do. I also would like you to get prenatal vitamins and start it, okay?
Okay.
Are you aware that when you smoke, you take vitamins out of your body?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And so we want a healthy baby, correct?
Yes.
And did you know smoking also makes the baby smaller?
Yes, I do.
And are you aware it makes them susceptible to more diseases?
Yes, all that horrible stuff, yes.
Okay. Love your child enough to get clean, okay? What is you don't have your daughter yet, do you?
No.
And you don't have your son?
No.
Guess who's going to do the pregnancy thing more than once?
Oh.
Oh. So we don't want you calling KFAB in the delivery room, although it might be great advertising. But don't be shouting KFAB, all right, at the delivery room. Give me your husband's name.
I actually am not married.
Okay. And who are you living with?
I live by myself. I have a boyfriend, but I do live by myself.
Okay. And how long have you had this boyfriend?
About 15 months.
Uh-huh. And where does he live?
He actually lives in Blair.
Okay. And the reason we haven't committed?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of scared to move down there. So.
Okay. Here's the scoop. You don't want a baby where the father isn't going to be there for you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. No more sex from this moment on.
Okay.
You're potent. I want that child to have a baby, a father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a saying. After 12 months, you either get off the pot or you go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stick around with a relationship if after 12 months you haven't made a commitment.
Correct.
Then it's not the right one.
Correct.
However, I do feel you do know the right one.
Okay.
And I do feel you know the father of your daughter and your son.
Okay.
So let's stop thinking about babies and start getting the horse in front of the cart.
Definitely.
Okay? By the
Okay.
way, you will share a business with your husband that you do know. You will also live and love in a home you build down a dirt road. I like that. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
One other thing. Are you a nurse by any chance?
I am not. I'm a receptionist.
For a health area?
For a college.
Okay. For some God-forbidden reason, I have underwear on the floor. Do you know what that is? Strange underwear on the floor? We don't want to know. This is talk radio. We'll be good with that. But the strange underwear on the floor within 4 months. I'm liking it. Bye-bye. All right.
Okay.
That's
oh, my
a
goodness.
strange call.
Well,
yes, we've had him.
I think it was you. I don't know about the call. That underwear on the floor thing, Susanna. I don't know.
I tried not to look.
That didn't come out of her mouth. But
I
anyhow.
tried not
Okay.
to look, but if it's there, you have to be aware, you know?
Well,
You have to be aware. Also, I have you by palm trees. Now, I know you're going to visit North Carolina.
That is right. Yes.
But
Tar
I
Heel
have,
State.
I have you somewhere else by palm trees. You know what that is?
I have
By
no
any
idea what
chance?
that means. That sounds good.
Well, I'm
You know,
thinking
that freezing
I'm enjoying
drizzle
it.
last night. And
Or it
stuff?
might be a picture. It just might be a picture. Picture of a palm tree.
Nah.
Fun by a picture of a palm tree.
I'm going to make it happen.
All right.
I have to, yes.
Do we go for another call?
Or should we hit those numbers? Let's get
What
our
are
phone
the
bank.
numbers
Well, the
again?
800 number is 1-800-543-1110.
Uh-huh.
And locally, 558-1110.
All right.
Simple.
Give us a call. We're right here. We're right ready for you. We want to hear what's on your mind. But don't put the cart before the horse. You know, you don't want to bring a child in this world, although if God gives you a child, you always celebrate. Always celebrate. God has a divine plan. But don't put the cart, give the child a parent, two parents, because it just makes it so much easier. Now, we're waiting for your calls at 1-800-543-1110 and 558-1110. But let's go to Carol right now.
Hi, Suzanna.
Well, hello, Carol. Carol, where do you live?
I live in Omaha.
Uh-huh. Do you live near a duplex?
No, not at the moment. I'm going to be moving in about a week, though, but not now.
Okay, you're going to be moving in a week. Is it towards a duplex?
Yeah, I'll be near a duplex, yeah. Well, actually, I'll kind of be in a duplex. It's the house broken into two apartments, so I guess you could call it a duplex, yeah.
Okay. I think you're going to have a little bit of a problem with the move.
Oh, great. And do you know the nature of the problem?
All right. Well, how about if I say that you, I'm not sure, the neighbors or something. I'm not sure. I'm going to see what we can do to change it. Carol, how old are your children?
I don't have any children.
All right. How old, you're not married, are you?
No.
Okay. Honey, you're going to have children. You're going to be called grandmother. You're going to raise a family. Plan on that. And you are going to have a healthy commitment this coming year. But I think what I'm picking up around the new move is that there might be some rowdy kids around there. So I want you to be aware of that.
Oh, well, yeah, there's rowdy people in that neighborhood I'm aware of, yeah.
Are you aware of that? Okay, then let's just be a little bit alert. Keep a light on in the house. Keep your radio on. You know, just be alert to it, all right?
And, I did want to say, if Brian is still listening, he and his dog are in my thoughts and prayers, because I'm a big animal person, and that sounded tough.
And, you know, Brian, that is a great parent to a dog. You know, when an animal is taken care of by someone, that is such a blessing for the animal.
And for the person, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
I know how it is to have a sick pet, and it's very difficult, and I feel bad for Brian, but I hope his dog gets better.
You know what? I don't know, Carol. Do you have what kind of dog do you have?
I'm sitting here, and my cats are getting ready to go into a tumble fighting right now. And the dog's trying to referee as I'm standing here.
I love it.
I have a little Papillon.
Oh. Well, I had a dog called Peter. He was a Pekingese.
Uh-huh.
We had to put him down, and I got to tell you, before we put him down, we cooked the turkey, let him have all the turkey meat he wanted on Thanksgiving, and then the next day we put him down, and when he went down, he stuck out his tongue saying, "I'm with God. You guys are the struggling ones." So, you know, taking care of animals is great, and God bless animals. I love them all. All right, next we're going to go to Ron. Thank you for calling, Carol. Be aware of your new neighbors. I feel there's an issue. Bye-bye. We're going to Ron.
Hello.
Ron, are you in management now?
Am I what?
In management?
Am I...
In management.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Do you own your own business?
A small business, a lawn service business, small one.
Okay. And is that what you manage?
Yes and no. It's a small service that I have not actually ventured out to build and make it into a super business, I call it.
Okay. What I'm going to tell you that there is going to be something else you're going to be doing, and I'm going to... Pardon me?
I've wanted to switch jobs. That's been kind of a goal of mine.
I feel you're going to be doing it within 4 to 5 months.
Good. Financially
good, and a management position for you. I feel you're very good at covering all the bases.
Yes.
Getting things done, but you do procrastinate a little bit.
Yes, I do.
So we got to work on that procrastination. We have to learn on how to walk out on our dreams rather than just dreaming. But the thing that we know about you, Ron, is when you do something, you give it 110%.
Yes,
You're very loyal. You're very good. You're a good worker. And I think the job change is going to be somebody's going to come to you, ask you to get involved in their project because they'll need the help and the support. Okay?
I hope so. One question for you.
Go ahead.
Will I be divorcing in the next year?
How old's your daughter?
I have 3. I have twins that are 5, and I have an 11-year-old.
Okay. And they're all by the same woman?
Yes.
Uh-huh. No, I don't feel the divorce. Do you want to leave?
Do I want to leave?
Yeah?
No, I do not.
Okay. Are you aware your wife loves you?
Yes, I feel that way.
Okay. Are you aware your wife doesn't come from a healthy family?
Yes, I am. I'm aware of that.
Okay. So she doesn't know how to do things in a healthy way. Do you know what I mean?
Kind of.
She doesn't have the lesson. She doesn't know how to do it. Okay? You are the best motivation for those children and her.
Thank you.
Okay? So I want you to suck up whatever you have to do because those children need you in the home.
I believe that too.
Okay? So you fight for what you believe is right for your children.
Thank you.
Okay? Now here's the thing though, Ron. Remember how I said you cover all the bases, you're good at that? You're not the best with communication. You know that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
A lot of us, I think that's the biggest problem in all relationships is the communication. You don't want to cause a problem. You don't want to upset anybody, so you don't say anything. And that's a bigger problem. I want you to pretend like you're dating your wife again. Remember how you couldn't, when you first got involved with your wife, there wasn't anything she could have wanted that you wouldn't have done?
True.
Go back to that area. She has given you 3 children. She deserves you wanting her and desiring her and making her feel like a queen again. Okay?
You.
Now, she doesn't know how to be healthy, but you can help her. You can help her, and you will. Get back to a church, too. That'll always help you. Always help. God bless. You're a good man, Ron. I like you.
I am.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to go to the next line. I think.
Oh, should we take a break?
I want to do one more.
You want to do one more? Okay.
Before the break, and then we can let people know to call.
Okay.
All right, one more before the break, and then the call. And what numbers do they call again?
Oh, 558-1110 locally and toll free, 1-800-543-1110.
I want to go to Sharon right now. She's on the 800 number.
Okay.
Where are you from, Sharon?
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Woo! Did you hear our earlier guest?
No, I didn't. I just turned you on a little bit ago. I just lay down and go to sleep to you every Sunday night.
Well, I love that. Sharon, first of all, are you having back problems right now?
Not right now.
Okay. Is it the back a sensitive area for you?
Hasn't been.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to be a little bit aware, maybe get a little bit more physically active. I feel some stress on the back.
Susanna, that's kind of a bad line. Did you have anything else? Maybe we'll have to go to another caller or take a break because there's a lot of static
That was a lot of static.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling back issues. Physically, she's going to get a lot better this year. Physical improvements and weight loss ahead for her. I feel very good about them both. And also, Sharon, I'm going to tell you a small electrical problem. Doesn't look as bad as you think it is. Right now, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with your calls. The number is 558-1110 or 1-800-1110. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on KFAB, right where you need to be. Okay, this is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. This is where you want to be if you want to grow, learn new things, hear new things. You know, you can go to KFAB's website and download any show that we've had on. That's all very supportive. Plan on listening, growing with us. That's what we're here. We want to find people that will support you in your life's growth. every day we become new, and with each breath we become smarter and better. So if there's anything you want to hear about, please send me a message at Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook or Suzanna Stickney. Both of those sites are available. Life with Psychic Suzanna will give you what's coming up this coming week. So you'll always be in the know. But just between you and me, Jim, I've got to tell you some great, exciting things. Okay. Where are you in your birth? How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Well, there were 6 of us kids. I was number 2.
Number 2.
I was the second one.
Have you ever thought about where you came might have affected how you are in life?
I used to when I was a more sensitive lad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we have someone who wrote a book about that. We're going to talk about the birth order.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
we're going
always
to talk about
interesting.
We're also going to, in January, we're going to help you decide how to decorate your house.
Oh, my.
Have you ever heard of Feng Shui?
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Does that answer your question?
Actually, I painted my doors red because Feng Shui says to paint your doors red. I did. And finances have improved, so I'm okay with that, all right?
Okay.
And then we're going to have, you couldn't believe angels. Someone's coming on in December talking about angels.
Those are popular.
And why do you
ladies.
pray to certain angels? Well, men like angels.
Not as much as ladies. I'll take a vote.
I know a lot of priests that do.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you see how easy I am? I give up that easily.
Yeah, that's please. You're a handful. All right. I think we ought to go to the line, but I'm pretty excited about Betty. Hello, Betty.
Hi.
Betty, and you're calling on our 800 line. Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from Socorro, New Mexico.
Okay. Betty, have we ever talked?
No.
Okay.
I caught a hold of you last week, and I didn't get the phone number, but I made it a point to catch you today.
Okay. Now, Betty, you're 90 years old, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you know how many people are afraid of calling a psychic when they're 90 years old?
Well, I know the time limit in life is short.
No, it's not. Every day is a beginning and an eternity. Every moment is an eternity. Whether you're 90, 20, 80, 40, it doesn't matter. It's a number. And
I suppose.
And the number doesn't make you old. Actions make you old. Actions make you old. And I think you still get in a little bit of trouble, young lady. And I have you being around for many more years. But you better get some shoes on, a good, comfortable pairs of shoes, because I feel like there's going to be 3 trips you're going to be taking this coming year. 2 of them are long distance. They are going to all have reunions. It's going to be a heck of a good time. Plan on this with reunions with people you haven't seen for decades. I like that.
You're kidding.
No, it's going to be great.
I thought they were all gone.
No, please. Some go and they stay with you in spirit, but there's also new ones, new friends, but all family things. I think it's going to be great. I am picking up water on your wall. Do you have is your bathroom on the 2nd floor?
No, I'm in a mobile home.
Okay, I got some water on the wall. Could be condensation. That's a big word for me, but I want you to be aware of that, all right? Just be a little bit alert about that. All right, I'm going to thank you for calling. Stay tuned, okay? Nancy, I want to just sit real quick. At 58, you're going to be losing weight and having money from the past in 2 months. Then we want to go to Alan. Is that Alan?
Suzanna, I don't know if we have time. We have like 20 seconds.
Alan, you're going to have a reunion that'll cost you money. This is just, time goes so fast.
It flies. It absolutely does.
It's Life with Psychic Suzanna every Sunday. This is the show that has you growing. This is the show that'll have you meeting your obstacles, looking them in the face and saying, I'm better than you. Come with me, and I'll take you away. Life with Psychic Susanna on 1110 KFAB.